Hello, and a very warm welcome. Driver ratings for the Mexican Grand Prix. All 20 drivers covered as we rate them out of 10. Max won the Grand Prix from Lewis Hamilton, and Charles Leclerc ended up on the podium. Let's jump into it. First team, Red Bull. Max, 9. He qualified P3, won the race, very dominant. His restarts were superb. I mean, the first start, he got in the lead. The second start, he managed to keep the lead. Superb once again by Max. And his 16th win of the season. Wow. Sergio Perez 0. Home race, pressure's on. He's already under pressure. People calling for him to lose the seat. Well, qualifying went bad enough, getting done by Ricciardo in the sister team. And then he's got a perfect start. Probably the best start he's had in his life, Sergio Perez. He started 5th. He basically was in the lead. But he's got too excited. He's under pressure. He's got all them Mexican fans. He's gone for the lead. He's just made a mess of it. It's 100% his fault as he crashes into Leclerc. And that was the end of the Mexican Grand Prix, and probably the end of his Red Bull career. Charles Leclerc, 9. Extremely fast, this guy. Just needs the package. Pole position, a big surprise. He's gone from pole to P3, but actually, that is not too bad. I think they would have took that at the start of the weekend. Carlos Sainz, 8. Qualified 2nd, 1-2 for Ferrari, finishes 4th, and I would actually say that's better than expected coming into this weekend for Ferrari. Wow, a rarity on the channel. Fernando Alonso, 0. It's got to be 0. Fernando Alonso was absolutely wank this weekend. As I say, no favoritism on this channel. You perform like shit, you get called out. Mistake after mistake by Fernando Alonso. And yeah, he's getting called out. A huge spin in practice too. A spin in qualifying. Qualified 13th. Lots of errors. Running last in the race. And I genuinely believe he did the Fernando Alonso thing where he retired the car when there's nothing wrong with the car. He used to do this back in McLaren. So yeah, an awful weekend by Fernando Alonso. Lance Stroll, 5. Where's Strolly boy? He started from the pit lane. Short answers in the media pen. Looks very depressed. Maybe he knows he's already out on his ear or something. Retired contact with Bottas, so I gave him a standard 5. It was actually Bottas's fault. Lewis Hamilton, 9. Strong performance again. He qualified 6th, finished 2nd. Good pace in the race. And yeah, he's closing in on 2nd in the drivers. 2 really good weekends by Lewis. Yeah, and he's schooling George at the minute. George Russell, 5. An average performance. Qualified 8th, finished 6th. He only just held off an AlphaTauri. Russell is going to Brazil next, and that's where he got his first win. Hopefully, that will give him a kick up the arse. Lando Norris, 7. Now, before anyone jumps on their bandwagon, he was absolutely superb in the race, but he's got to be marked down for his qualifying. Out in Q1, a huge shock. Another McLaren fuck up. But in the race, wow, he was superb. He really was. That second stint on the mediums, dare I say, it was almost the drive of a champion. He dropped all the way to 14th, came back to 5th. His pace was just unreal, and he wasn't burning like through the tyres. Sensational. Oscar Piastri, 5. Did a good job in qualifying, top McLaren, P7, but in the race, where was Oscar's pace? He was shocking, like really poor. And Norris went from 14th to 5th, and Oscar just stayed in the same place. Really poor pace. And he had contact with Tsunoda, which would have brought up big damage. Alfa Romeo, the standard fives. Valtteri Bottas, 5, qualified ninth. Took out Stroll in the race. Guan Yu Zhou qualified 10th and finished 16th. So I give him 5. I think the red flag really fucked Guan Yu Zhou because he just pitted before. Into Alpine, Esteban Ocon 5, qualified 15th, really poor. Ocon really had an awful weekend, but he managed to dig out a point with a decent strategy. Stuck behind Hulkenberg for long periods. Froglegs 5, qualified 11th, finished 11th. Alpine struggled for pace this weekend. Oh, this one hurts. 1'1", Oh my god. I was raging. My girlfriend was raging about this one. She's becoming a fan of Yuki. He started last because he had a load of penalties. In qualifying, he towed Ricciardo round. Did the good teammate thing. Started way down. He was on for points. The red flag when Magnus crashed really benefited him. But he was stuck behind Piastri for long periods, and he should have really been past Piastri. And then he's had contact with Oscar. Now, I've only seen it in the race, but it looked pretty similar to Perez's incident. I believe Yuki, big missed opportunity. I think it was Yuki's fault, if I'm being honest. My girlfriend's scowling at me. It was his fault. Oh well. Big missed opportunity though. Big points were there. Daniel Ricciardo 10, and he will have a big smile on his face. My driver of the weekend, absolutely superb. And Sergio Perez has had a stinker of a home GP. Ricciardo's put his mark down, all ready for that Red Bull drive. Qualifies 4th, finishes 7th. He almost passed George Russell at the end. A superb weekend for Daniel Ricciardo. And my only 10 of the weekend. Superb. Can't stand the guy, but as I say, no bias on this channel. Outstanding. Kevin Magnussen 5. Qualified 16th. Retired in the race with a big crash. Great to see him walk away from that suspension failure. Now, I don't know whether it was... He went off in the last corner, and he kept his foot in. Now, did that trigger something? And then a couple of corners later, suspension failure. Nico Hulkenberg, 8. Superb weekend. His 200th Grand Prix. Qualified 12th. Was running in the points. Everyone was following Hulkenberg. He was P10, P8 at the start, then P10. Was holding everyone off. Held off Gasly, Ocon for long periods. But then he ended up out of points. Really hurts that one. 14th he ended up. Last but not least, Williams. Alex Albon, 7. Messed up in qualifying. Or was it a harsh? He was so strong in practice. Then he got track limits in qualifying. And he wasn't happy about it. And then he scored points. P9. Solid. Logan Sargent, 6. Qualified last, but finished 12th. Are we seeing some signs of improvement? I'm still on the fence. I don't really think he's cut out for F1, but that's 2 decent races. He finished 12th in US, but got promoted to 10th, and then he's finished 12th again. So, yeah. So there we have it. Driver ratings for the Mexico Grand Prix. We go on to an absolute cracker next in Brazil. Can't wait for that. Comment down below your thoughts. Driver ratings is one of my favourite videos to do. Only 110 this weekend, and it was Daniel Ricciardo. Driver of the weekend. All day long. Thanks for watching. Adios.